It wouldn't be the stochastic fiction game if once in a while it stochastically started off. That day might be today, it might not be today. Who knows what day it is when this is getting views, but it is stochastic fiction game time. That's right. For realsies. Then we have to actually type in the word stochastic fiction Python script, enter it, and we should be able to see the file output right there, the stochastic fiction outline. Let's go ahead and start this clock so I can see time and see how much we have. 2 hours. 2 hours. Let's create a story based upon this outline in 2 hours. At the end of the 2 hours, or before it, depending on how long it takes me to feel a little bit disgusted about what I wrote, I will rate the story and be done within 2 hours. Okay, that's a story outline for me today. Today's story element for this stochastic fiction game is setting time past, setting place jungle, conflict society. Characters 2, point of view 3rd, tense present tense, genre mystery. Format is flash fiction. All within 120 minutes or fewer. This should be clicking down. I just want to look at my time. There we go. Hour and 58 minutes. I gotta think of a story within that time frame. Past, as in this is going to be in the past. Conflict with society. Whoa. Mystery. Why are they in a conflict with society? I mean, I wouldn't have the first story about someone who escaped to the jungle to be able to get away from society. In the present tense, find 2 characters. I mean, protagonist, antagonist, maybe. What's the mystery behind there? They're going to be running through the jungles, maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? I'm not certain yet. But let's write some story. Let's go ahead and have it 2 characters in a jungle. We've got conflict with society. The natural one, the easy default one in my mind at this point is they're conflicted with living in modern day society. And for some reason want to go and live inside of a jungle because it's simpler there. It's never simpler there. Now I'm trying to think of other stories that deal with that. I think like, was it Mosquito Coast or Mosquito Coast? God, I can't remember. It was a book, then it was a movie, if I'm not mistaken. Escaping society in a jungle. The conflict is with society, and we're in a jungle, obviously. That sets up a conflict with society. There's a mystery, though. Why does that man want to kill me? Why does that person want to kill me? And maybe that would be the thing. But who really knows? I don't. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Let's look at the outline again. I mean, it does take an hour and 56 minutes, and it is flash fiction at least, so at least I can at least throw out the conflict on the first sort of paragraph and the resolution on the last paragraph. Out in the jungle, I mean, I'm in 2 characters. You know, everything else is background scene, whether it's like another snake, animals. It is a mystery, so we got to have 2 things with agency that understand innuendo. It's just not like a fable. I'm going to have like a panther chasing a snake or vice versa or whatever. It's going to be 2 humans. The mystery, I'm thinking of like the Tarzan, Lord of the Apes. It was always a mystery of where they came from. You knew as the reader, but then someone discovered them. Let's not go there. Genre mystery. a mystery in the jungle of why they're in a conflict with society. I guess why you have that conflict. Why are you in the jungle? Wow. We could go a lot of different. Someone who wants to be a survivalist. You could go someone who's a doctor and doing research. Someone who's on the run, and the jungle is the only place they think they can hide. Now, this is a little bit. I guess for me, it's if I'm going to fictionalize, better if I actually have real world experience, because it's easier for me to lie if I've done a thing someplace and had some experience, or can at least relate experiences with something like a jungle. I've been in jungles before, but not as much as I have every other type of flora, fauna. And then what it actually justifies is, so, like I've been places, the places I've been, with, I don't know if they'd be considered jungles. I want to try to set this in a scene, at least someplace that I can fictionalize a little bit better, because I've experienced something similar, and therefore my lie is better. I mean, that's all fiction is your best nonfiction lying about what you know. And lying well enough that you actually make it up in your mind too, and you feel like you know it. I guess that's the ultimate fiction writer, is the one that can convince themselves of their lie good enough to make other people believe it's true. What am I look like? Yeah, maybe let's see. Just like what constitutes a jungle? Like, I mean, I've been in like tropical rainforests. I've been in rainforests. Is that necessarily a jungle though? I don't know. I'm looking this up right now. So jungle. What constitutes a jungle? A wild land overgrowth with dense vegetation, often impenetrable, especially tropical vegetation in a tropical rainforest, a tract of such land. So tropical rainforest dense. So Hawaii could be considered. Some places in Hawaii could be considered a jungle. I've had experiences. I don't have great experiences, but at least I can get a sense of what it's like there, and better lie about it. Like, why are they in Hawaii? I don't necessarily need to say. I can just use that, though, experiences to make the story maybe a little better. Maybe not. Maybe it'll make it shit. Good. All right, so past, jungle, anytime before now. I don't have to get too ridiculous, but conflict with society. Okay, third, why are they there? I mean, it really matters if you're like in let's say Florida's got jungle versus Hawaii. Hawaii is a little hard to survive. Not that Florida jungle is any easier, because I'm going to call it jungle. But at least it's attached to a main body of land where you can easily have more readable, cheaper access to goods. I feel as if you at least have a diverse enough environment to live off of it, but I've never really tried to live off anything in a jungle ever. Why would you go into the jungle alone? Maybe you're getting chased, and that's the mystery. And if you're getting chased in Hawaii, you've then intentionally you've either grew up in Hawaii, or for some reason you wanted to go to Hawaii to be able to live in Hawaii's jungle and feel like that's an achievement in life. And that's a lot of effort. As to where if you're living in the main body of states, then you could grow up in any state, and drive into a jungle in Florida is a hell of a lot easier, and it could be more random, therefore opening up the diversity of the type of character I can fictionalize. If I had experienced many other jungles necessarily, and temperate, I think that has to do with it as well. tropical rainforest. Is that considered? Does Florida have jungles? I mean, just the description of Hawaii jungles on different sites seems to me that they're tropical rainforests. Jungle in Florida. I think I've written a story about jungles in Florida. Yeah, why not? Jungle Adventures. We're gonna call it that way. Maybe, maybe that's a. Oh my God, that it'd be kind of a setting place. Could be a jungle. It could be a theme park jungle. Maybe it is gonna be Florida. Conflict is with society. I guess the jungle's in constant conflict with society. Characters too. It's got to be in Florida. Hawaii is just. I mean, it's hard to coordinate for me. I can just make it more random where the person comes up from. They don't have to have been born in like Florida. You got to have a hell of a destiny on your hands to have enough persistence or belief in your destiny to have enough persistence to go to Hawaii and have some flash fiction story exist there in a jungle. So this is going to be about a theme park in Florida, jungle based. And that's the conflict with society. People got ate by a tiger. What's the mystery, though? What's the mystery? So it's going to be in Florida. It's going to be the conflict with society has to be the mystery. Conflict with society. It's a mystery. It's a mystery why people keep dying in the jungle theme park in Florida. They get shot. Or they get ate by slugs. I mean, because they've killed off everything dangerous in these things. And that's the conflict of the mystery. Why is the jungle dying? Oh man, it's going to be in Florida. I feel like Florida's my go-to place. I don't know. This is not the first story I've written in Florida, especially one that involves a jungle. I think it's literally video game flash fiction. This book right here has Jungle Hunt. And I think that story takes place in Florida. I think it was the evangelical Jesus they're going after in that one. Let's not be that. Let's be about a theme park, and let's try to make this let's try to stretch myself. I got hour and 47 minutes left. Let's give myself 2 hours and 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to at least lock something in. And I can start writing. I think that like my tentative thing is like, what's the mystery? I don't know. This already is starting to suck. Doesn't have to be. I mean, jungle society. Flash fiction. So we got a conflict. Why are we getting flooded? Could give some sort of the conflict. If we have, just say, two pure characters, let's have it be with. Let's go fable. We should go full fable. Make the forest a character. Make the jungle a character. Conflicting with the owner who wants to transform it into a park. And so we have the antagonist and protagonist, and the protagonist is going to be the forest, the jungle. I don't know how this is going to go, but it'll work. And then the antagonist will be the owner who just bought the land. What are they wondering? They're wondering why there's all the flooding and I mean, because the tropical forests and wetlands absolutely serve a purpose to be able to, like, hold land together, give vegetation, give cover, give strength, make the land a little bit more resilient in recovery of, if I'm not mistaken, any sort of, like, torrential downfall, rain, hurricanes. because they kind of hold the ground. They soak up the water and allow so it doesn't. Okay, so that's going to be the conflict. So there's the two. There's going to be the jungle, the parking lot. I mean, that's probably the thing that's would cause any sort of jungle, anything close to a wetland. That would be the thing to flood. Because you're displacing its ability to soak up the water by putting in a road or, well, yeah, Let's do that. So we're going to have our antagonist be property owner. Why is the parking lot flooding? There's the conflict right there. And they're gonna all the attempts to try to make sure the parking lot and everything they've had to do to make sure the parking lot, the cement structures don't fall into the environment. And so the other character is going to be the actual jungle, the tropical rainforest in Florida. And I could probably just throw out like a theme park name right here. Said this and that. Okay, why is the parking lot full of water? And I got to probably throw out better words. Keep filling with water. Lee, drop the G. Why is the parking lot keep filling with water? And those damn. I got it. I'm gonna have it dam and with an N. So what else? What other structures would definitely fall once you had any sort of rain in a tropical rainforest? You're like, hey, let's go put a parking lot in. Let's just stick with the parking lot. I can expand on things if I can at least resolve this conflict. We're doing tense is present tense, so everything's going to be present tense active. Says, let's roll this dice. 1, 2, male, 3, 4, female, 5, 6, whatever. 4 female. Okay, so the owner is going to be a name. She's named Daisy? Sure. I don't think I've used that name within the past year. Maybe. Why does the parking lot keep filling water? Says Daisy. I'm going to drop. Why is this parking lot always full of water? And they keep filling with water. Owner of Jungle Ride Tours. I don't know how I'm going to make the jungle a character because I don't want to get too crazy. I'm not going to make them like active animals that can. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Hey, looks like someone rated there. Tiger Rights. Way to go, man. Why does the parking lot keep filling with water? Says Daisy, owner of Jungle Ride Tours. Drain's not plugged. And then we can get into what's the destruction part of it. God, this is really distracting. I'm trying to think now. I got to think of the resolution. I guess this is the mystery, right? And so they've discovered the mystery. The conflict is resolved once the mystery is defined, but the conflict always exists because they just shrug their shoulders. How do they find out, though? Like, how does the jungle inform them? The jungle stands, and let's write it from the perspective of the jungle. I like that. The jungle. We'll just call it the jungle. Maybe give the jungle a name to make it sort of unique. It could be. Why does the parking keep filling with water? Parking lot. Drain's not plugged. Even got backup on the roads. Okay. So we at least I'll put on the tour roads, on the back tour roads. That way it's like specifically, instead of like maintenance roads, they're going to start classifying things. It's that expansive of a place, so even goes back as far. Water backed up. Even on back tour road. Yeah. So is what it's going to be. Now I gotta write the jungle as a character. I don't think I've done this before. Maybe. Not unless there is some magic involved, possibly. So I'm now thinking of, I don't even honestly remember the writer's name. I should. I've read a couple books by them, but I remember the name of the book. It was called The Overstory. Really well written, and it really actually kind of brought out the character of the forests and its interaction with humans inside of it. Really did a good job, I think, of creating a character out of the forest. The overstory with the understory of the forest. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to try to at least channel at least what I remember that, and it's not going to fit for my story at all now that I realize it. I don't have that many words. This was an entire novel. I got a flash fiction. I mean, I could just make it fable-like. It could still be a mystery. I mean, the mystery would be solved by someone coming up and just saying, "Hey, your wetlands, the things that are supposed to absorb the water, have been taken away, and you've replaced them with cement and pavement, housing developments, buildings, basements flooded too." Maybe it's just dialogue. Damn basement too. It'd be kind of cheating, you know. It's not first person. And who says I haven't used this? It's not like I've written a flash fiction story before that's pretty much all dialogue. And this might have to be, because the mystery will be solved by when the second character is had and describes their state of feeling. So yeah, the jungle, the tropical rainforests, the trees through the tropical rainforest, like the roots. I think that's right. Whether it's wrong or right, it really don't matter. It's what it's gonna be. Why does the parking lot keep filling with water? Says Daisy, owner of Jungle Ride Tours. Drain's not plugged. Water backed up on the back tour roads. Damn basement 2. Damn lodge basement. It's sopping. What do you put in? I mean, typically you're going to put in the basement just like tables and chairs, maybe canned foods, but those would survive. They'd recycle those. Decorations, like lost to Halloween, lost to Christmas decorations. And I want to be able to, when this dialogue is being written, to make it worth being written, make it somewhat interesting. Like it's the thing telling the story. It's going to do a lot of showing, hopefully. Lost to Christmas decorations. The stockings. More like mudkins. I don't know what mudkins are. Stockings. Muddocks? I don't know. Mudstocks. There we go. Mudstocks. The stockings more like mud socks. Dropping words. This is dialogue. This is someone who's frustrated. They're not going to throw in a whole bunch of articles. They're mumbling kind of out of frustration. When you mumble out of anything, you're not really completing a lot of your words and a lot of your sentences for that matter, as is indicated and shown and told by the things I'm saying right now more of the time than less. Drains not plugged, water backed up on the back tour roads, damn basement lodge 2, it's sopping, lost the Christmas decorations, the stocking, more mud socks. That angel, not angle, and the angel, who made it? 1, 2 male, 3, 4 female, 5, 6 non. It's just degender. It's the tricky part. One of those names that I always fall back to Tracy. Made in I'm just saying school. An angel made in school. I'll if I remember, like mud puppies are big, like salamanders. It's a slang, at least that. Yeah, salamanders, mud puppy. I don't know if they're in there though, but I just like the name mud puppy. It just seems to me like a what you'd call it, even if it wasn't properly. It got to have salamanders. No. They're invasive species. They're gonna have mud puppies. Not just like a mud puppy. There we go. I like that better. Now just like a mud puppy. The mystery. What time is it? Hour and 32 minutes. Flash fiction. We start at least with something. Why does the parking lot keep filling with water? Where's this water coming from? How do you get rid of all this water? And then I can have how the tree roots aren't able to reach up through the asphalt. And I gotta somehow build that character up. I don't know how yet. That's confusing me. Let's get rid of this dialogue. So half the story is just going to be this dialogue here. And then I can transition to have the narrative focus on the second character, which will be the forest, the trees. And that is not a unique idea. I mean, there's a lot of research and maybe some good proof that shows that there is some sort of communication that happens between trees and how well they link themselves through their root system as well, and kind of can communicate slightly through it. Now, how sophisticated it is, what it means, beyond just being able to, I think one of the ways that they could see it is that they can actually connect and feed other trees, or let certain sections die off if they feel they need to keep the whole mass alive. It's crazy. I know so very little about it, but I've heard lots of talks and I've read stories and some research on it just because it's fascinating, but I can't go much in depth. I can't fictionalize with it very well because I don't know the nonfiction side well enough. That it would just sound like a bunch of blah coming out, but we can allude to that when I talk about it. I'm a fiction writer and I can imagine how trees talk. May not be good, but if I just sit here and think about it and don't do it, it won't get done. And then I can't find out how to do it better. That angel trace made in school, now just a mud puppy. Damn water. And maybe it'll be like asking a question, why can't you trees soak it up? Maybe put up a cement wall. Keep it out, even though it's falling from the sky. Why can't this is going somewhere? An hour and 28 minutes left. So flash fiction, I mean, it can range from 300 to 1200 words depending on the publication. Most publications are going to like your shorter flash fiction because they can put more and get a wider audience. So try to be around 400 to 500. You'll probably increase your chances of getting at least accepted for rejection or acceptance. So let's focus back on here. I need to write this dialogue. I'm going to have the transition of Daisy's dialogue flow into the other character, which will be the tree. I'm going to go ahead and revisit right now the Stochastic Fiction Game story elements. Those stochastic story elements are setting time past, setting place jungle, conflict society, characters 2, point of view 3rd, tense present tense, genre mystery, format flash fiction. The mystery being, hey, why is there so much water here in our I should probably like name these things like a little bit to give it more like in the damn basement. Jungle Lodge 2. Probably put the G before the L. I like my jungle spelled like jungle. It's sopping. Lost to Christmas decorations. Okay. We get rid of this water. Her boot, her hip waders, her boot splashes, kicks the shin, deep water, shin deep, foot deep. It's up to the curb. Oh, held in by the parking. Held in. To her boot kicks the foot deep water. Held in by the parking lot. How can we get rid of this water? Her boot kicks the foot deep water. Held in by the parking by the curb, parking lot's curb. It's a lot of A lot of words. I don't know why I need that. Possess it. Through the trees, the tropical rainforest fills. Under the parking lot. And this is where we can get the second character. The second character coming in. Under the parking lot. Trees, roots. Reach. Soak slowly. Soak the water. Seeping and trickling. Dull. I almost want to case this and I'll make them a unified entity. Under the parking lot, trees' roots slowly soak the water, seeping and trickling through from a pool by a drain. Around a drain. I can use less words for this too. Trickling around a drain. Pooling around a drain. Okay, so there's one spot where they can kind of soak up this water, and it's just basically pooling above. That's, yeah. I mean, is this a flash fiction story? I need at least one paragraph, and maybe I can add some more ranting, and maybe I just make it 2 paragraphs, 2 big paragraphs. 2 characters, a conflict with society in jungle, and society wants a park here. I've decided to find the park. It's third person. We've got 2 characters. Present tense. Yes, slowly soak the water, seeping and trickling, pooling around drains. I think that works out. Writes out, rather. I don't have to think of everything as work. It just makes it dull and boring. It writes out. Under the parking lot, trees, roots. I want to case trees, but I need to name them. The Clo, like, let's name these characters. Let's name the trees. Let's name the collective of trees. The tree collective. The tree collective. Roots, the ground, and each other with a name that loosely translates. Yes, because we're translating what trees call themselves as a group, called fiction. Under the parking lot, the tree collective roots the ground and each other with a name that loosely. But do you really root the name? No, you roots the ground and connects each other with a name that closely, with a collective name. I think they would then start to identify as part of this societal thing. But if I were a collective of trees and naming myself, and I were there a hell of a lot longer than the humans that decided to shape the environment around me to their whims, would I have one that gets like the Ben here? Soaking. Okay, so a collective name that closely resembles soaking roots slowly soaks the water, seeping, trickling, pooling around the drains. The saturated roots and slowly moisten and flow through the roots to the trees. Maybe that works. Hour and 19 minutes left. I think I can flash fiction this story someplace. I got conflict. I got the two characters. I have some mystery that will get solved with the second paragraph. I got to add more to the first one. I'm going to have a person's human's dialogue be sort of a collective pissed off statement. And then it transitions to the other character, the, I guess, I don't know, protagonist? I guess the one that needs to live will solve the mystery of why there's so much flooding. I think the mystery will be solved by reading it. If it's not, then maybe I wrote it poorly, or someone just doesn't understand how wetlands work. Wetlands and jungles. I think, wow, let's see. So I got an hour and 18 minutes. I just thought of a better story. Yeah. I think that'd be even better. Do I have enough time to rewrite this? I think maybe. This is not bad. I'd save this. This is a chunk of... It's not too staining. It doesn't smell bad. But I thought of the story just now of actually if I were to do this better, hone it and be more precise to the conflict with society in a jungle. But it wouldn't be much of a mystery. I could do it in the mystery. The idea would be that it is a processing plant, a man-made machine that can replace the jungle. And they're finding it doesn't work that well. And so you would have society wanting to be able to grow, creating this machine that can try to simulate the same thing a wetland can do, or a tropical rainforest in this diversity in the environment, very poorly. I mean, that's a better story. But this is a story that's along the same lines, more neuroscope. I feel like that story would be a short story, non-flash fiction, maybe. Maybe. I'll keep it. I'll probably forget I've ever said this. Unfortunately, I am taking transcript of everything I say right now, so it'll be locked in memory someplace for AI to read and maybe understand where I was maybe going to go with the story. But I needed that side thought. So the side thought of having this story be about some... Well, it'd have to be present. They really can't do that. If it was science fiction, so it is present tense. It is present day. It's in the past. And so they don't have such a machine that does that right here. So that'd be if it was in the future in science fiction. Anyway, that story idea sucks for this outline in these story elements. But it was a fun thought. Let's just dive in and write this out. So I got an hour and 60 minutes left to make this something worth something. Her boots kicked the deep foot deep water, held in by the parking lot's curb. Under the parking lot, the tree collective roots the ground and connects each other with a collective name that closely resembles soaking roots. Soaking roots. There we go. Slowly soaks the water, seeping and trickling, pooling and around drains. Excuse me for that. The saturated root ends slowly moisten and flow. Moisten water through the root to the trees. I like that. That's not total crap. Totally bad. All right, saturated in the news. The trees bend, the roots bend around. Asphalt. And cement sidewalks. Two trunks. Nailed with signs. And walkway railings. I don't, yeah. Soaking roots. Spreads. Saturates. Sending signals. What is it? Like they let's see. So roots. God, I mean, this sucks. This is bad. Maybe, I don't know. Like it's. Man, I wish this was setting future, setting time future. No, it's the past. If it was the future, I'd totally go with that idea right now because I'm just struggling with being able to fictionalize a forest as a character in a flash fiction story. It's not something I do often. I suppose that's the challenge of this game. Soaking roots slowly soaks the water, seeping and trickling, pooling around drains. The saturated roots and slowly moisten through the root, moisten to the trees. Just use less words. The root bend around. The roots bend around asphalt and cement into trunks. Soaking roots, branches hang. Let's see. Soaking roots. Trimmed. And drip water like tears. Okay. Soaking roots, years long battle to root To root through the asphalt. Soaking roots, years-long battle to root through the asphalt. Yields this is where who did I name this? I named this somebody somewhere on something maybe something. Let's do this. So why does the parking lot keep filling with water? Says Daisy, owner of the Jungle Raiders store. So Daisy kicks the. I bet the pipe's broke. There is no pipe. Daisy kicks the ground. Kicks the raised asphalt. Daisy kicks the raised asphalt and the root underneath. I'll dig this up. Probably grew through the. Stopping the drain. Daisy kicks the raised asphalt and the root underneath. Dig this up. Probably grew through the pipe, stopping the drain. Soaking roots. Knows there is no drain. No pipe. No drain. No way for the water to soak. What is the mystery? I mean, it just solved the mystery. There's the resolution. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like it's a cop out. But I feel like maybe not. I mean, don't have to take up the entire 2 hours, but at least make this worth reading. God, that's short. Just not much of a mystery to most people, at least to me. I would hope it's not that big of a mystery. So I'm going to read this aloud and see where it's at, see what I can add. Maybe more depth. I think a little bit more dialogue. So when we talk and we write into. Yeah, so when we start talking and writing into the forest, there's a better understanding of this character and where they're at. So I could probably add more for this opening paragraph, but let's at least read what is. And I need a tenant. Let's think of a name. Soaking Roots. The name of the. There we are. I like that. It's not bad. Maybe not good, but it's not bad. All right, so this is an edit through. I'm going to read it aloud. I do many times when editing, many different stages of the edit as well. Why does the parking lot keep filling with water, says Daisy, owner of Jungle Riders Tour. Jungle Ride Tours. I like Jungle Ride Tours. Drains not plugged. Water backed up on the back roads. Damn basement of Jungle Lodge, too. It's sopping. Lost the Christmas decoration. The stockings, more mud stalks. That angel Trace made in school, now just like a mud puppy. Damn water. Why can't you trees soak it? Why can't you trees soak it? Maybe put a cement wall. Keep it out. Pump it over. How can we get rid of the water? Her boots kick foot-deep water held in by the parking lot's curb and its asphalt base. It's asphalt, right? Asphalt? I'm just going to say it is for today. Well, at least for the next hour and 4 minutes. I'll let doubt enter after. Why is the parking lot so full? Okay, under the parking lot, the tree collective roots the ground. A tree collective. Let's just say a tree collective. And then once we actually identify that tree collective, it is then the tree collective. Under the parking lot, we've already identified the parking lot. A tree collective roots the ground and connects to each other with a collective name that closely resembles soaking roots. Soaking roots slowly soaks the water. Slowly soaks. Yes, soaks. Slowly soaks the water, seeping and trickling, pooling and draining. The saturated roots ends slowly moisten the trees. The roots bend and around. Well, let's put the O. Let's put the N. The roots bend around the asphalt and cement to trunks nailed with signs and walkway railings. Soaking trees, trimmed branch, soaking roots, trimmed. Let's possess that. Soaking roots, trimmed branches, hang dead, and drip water like tears as the rain falls in floods. I mean, I don't even have to put a state or anything on this. Let's leave it. I don't need to call it out unless it needs to be called out. I think that's just, I don't want to point all fingers at Florida and say that it's a messed up place. Every place is messed up. Florida just happens to have a lot of rain and is a good example, but there's a lot of places that this could fall into a category of, so I don't necessarily feel like I need to add Florida. Sorry, I had to say that out loud. It'll at least help me rationalize why not to have it in there. Daisy kicks soaking roots. Let's capitalize that. Years-long battle. Let's possess that again. Years-long battle to root through the asphalt yielded a sprout. Yielding a sprout. Now drowned by the pool flooding the parking lot. Yielded a crack through the asphalt. I just want to write it like this. I'm just gonna, I gotta look it up. It's no you. Am I like, right? Yeah, why I put a U? Maybe because of fault. Let's not think about that too much. So the soaking roots, years long battle to root through the asphalt. S-P-H-A-L-T, yielding a crack through the asphalt and a sprout. Because some trees, and I don't know what type of trees are in this particular fictional rainforest, tropical rainforest that is, also from my understanding called the jungle. I don't know if this type of tree can, because there's the types that drop seeds and they can have sprouts, but there's also ones where their roots will actually form the new tree and sprout up again. And so then you have this collective of trees that connect. And I don't know if any of the species that would be in a tropical rainforest are like that. I think some might. In my fictional world, they are. So soaking roots years-long battle to root through the asphalt, yielding a crack through the asphalt and a sprout now drowned by the pool flooding the parking lot. Daisy kicks the raised asphalt. Let's spell these things right. Maybe they'll stick in my mind. Asphalt, asphalt. Don't soak as good asphalt. I don't know why I call it that way, but don't soak as good as soil and trees and plants that hold the drink in between. It knows the true mystery, knows there is no mystery. And so the mystery is why. Okay, so I now correctly have asphalt correctly here written, spelled right, maybe. I have a story. It's very short. There's 15 minutes left. Let's add a little bit more texture to this. Do I really need to? Like, the owner of Jungle Ride Tours. Drains not plugged. Water backing up on the back tour roads. That angel Trace made in school now just like a mud puppy. Damn water. I should put some ellipsis maybe. Like there's a pause. Let's make the dialogue a little bit better at least. Pump it up. Make it more unique. Show some pauses in it. It's like someone mumbling, standing in a parking lot. Let's make sure if I ask a question that I put at least an apostrophe. Even on the says, I don't mind the transition from says with an apostrophe. Question mark. With a question mark like that. I think that works out and that process to where it needs to be. And then there's one other question within these sentences. That's stalking that angel Trace made to the mud puppy dam water. Why can't these trees soak it? Maybe put a cement wall. Keep water out. Pump it over. Her boot kicks the foot deep water held in by the parking lot's curb and its asphalt. Like its fault. I think this could be a story. It's a very short one. I don't know if I want to add more to that description. I kind of touch on all the points, at least expand it to show what it looks like, that there's roads. Under the parking lot, the tree collective roots the ground and connects each other with a collective name that closely resembles soaking roots. Soaking roots slowly soaks the water, seeping and trickling, pooling and draining. The saturated roots ends slowly moisten through the trees. Let's just tighten all this up. I think these are the words. Whoa, I don't need that W. I need my Vim command to be able to go between words and go to the next word. Trickling, pooling, draining around drains. The saturated roots end slowly moisten through the trees. There we are. The roots bend around the asphalt. Oh, there's another U where I don't need one. And cement the trunk, and cement the asphalt and cement. The roots bend around asphalt and cement and form into trunks that are nailed with signs and walkway railings. Soaking the roots, trimmed branches hang dead and drip water like tears as the rain falls in floods. Soaking roots' years-long battle to root through the asphalt, yielding a crack through the asphalt, and a sprout now drowned by the pool flooding the parking lot. Daisy kicks the raised asphalt and pulls the sapling from soaking roots, snaps, pulls and snaps the sapling from soaking roots in the parking lot. There we are. Blame it on the pipe when there is no pipe. Drain is just a drain to the ground. I mean, there's always these assumptions. Someone has their consideration when doing a job for you. They don't, unless it's in the contract. Daisy kicks the raised asphalt and pulls and snaps the sapling from soaking roots in the parking lot. Dig this up, probably grew through the pipe, stopping the drain. Soaking roots knows there is no pipe, no drain, no way for the water soak. To soak and seep away and drain away so it pools. Soaking roots knows cements and asphalts don't soak as good as soil in trees with plants to hold and drink between. That's the mystery. Flash fiction, yo. Doesn't have to be all that long. We have 52 minutes left. I'm going to read this, and maybe it's good. Maybe it feels complete enough to rate and rank. I don't need to take the 2 hours. I don't want to add more dialogue. I feel like less is more, always. I'll read this aloud, then we'll see if it meets parameters, judge it on parameters before I read it aloud for the last time, and then rate it. We have soaking roots. Why does the parking lot keep filling with water, says Daisy. Owner of Jungle Rider Tours. Nah, man, I didn't even put an R there again. Jungle Ride Tours. Drains not plugged. Water backed up on the back tour roads. Damn basement of Jungle Lodge 2. It's sopping. Lost the Christmas decorations. The stockings, more mud stocks. That angel Trace made in school. Now just a mud puppy. Damn water. Why can't you trees soak it? Maybe put a cement wall, keep water out, pump it over. How can we get rid of the water? Her boot kicks the foot-deep water held in by the parking lot's curb and its asphalt. Under the parking lot, a tree collective roots the ground and connects each other with a collective name that closely resembles soaking roots. Soaking roots slowly soaks the water, seeping, trickling, pooling around drains. The saturated roots end, slowly moisten through the trees. The roots bend around the asphalt and cement, and cement. and form into trunks. That's what I want. And form into trunks that are nailed. Let's have a to be verb. That are nailed with signs and walkway railings. Soaking roots, trimmed branches hang dead and drip water like tears as the rain falls in floods. Soaking roots, years-long battle to root through the asphalt, yielding a crack through the asphalt, and a sprout now drowned by the pool flooding the parking lot. Years-long battle to root through the asphalt yielded a crack. Let's yielded a crack through the asphalt and a sprout now drowned by the pool flooding into the parking lot. That's a better read of that sentence. Daisy kicks the raised asphalt and pulls and snaps the sapling from soaking roots in the parking lot. Dig this up, probably go through the pipe, stopping the drain. Soaking roots knows there is no pipe, no drain, no way for the water soak and drain to soak, to be, to soak. There's no way. I hate that. Let's not use no way. No way, no drain. No means. No means for the water to soak and drain away. So it pools. Soaking roots knows cements and asphalt don't soak as good as soil and trees with plants to hold and drink between. All right, I think that's it. I think that is the stochastic fiction story for today. I'm going to go see at least meet story elements and make those changes. If it does, then I'm going to read it aloud and be done. And it's within time, as in the UTC start time you see up there. Well, it's only been 48 minutes with this time here as well. So for this stochastic fiction game, the story elements, setting time past. This can be set in the past. I mean, absolutely. My fictional tree can exist in the past, as well as this fictional jungle park carved out of the jungle. Conflict society. Absolutely. The jungle, the two characters have a conflict. One is the owner and one is a tree collective. The owner represents society trying to grow. As society grows, it's encroaching upon other beings with agencies that are different than humans, and there's destructive forces. Characters, too. I've got the owner, the tree collective. Point of view third person still, yeah, that holds true. It's not first, it's not second. Tense, present tense. I got present tense. Genre mystery, sort of. That's a bit loose, but it starts with a question. You have to figure out why the mystery is. It shouldn't be a mystery, though, to many people, but maybe it will be to some. Format, flash fiction. Absolutely. It falls within the confines of flash fiction. It's got the length. It has conflict. I feel like it gets resolution. Got to have conflict to have a story. Else you're just describing something, which is fine. Maybe you just want to describe something for your story, but it's not mine. But if you can and you do it right, that would be awesome. But that's not here, and that's not this story. I'm going to let the time tick. There is 46 minutes left. I am not going to use that 46 minutes. I'm going to read this story aloud. It at least meets the stochastic fiction story elements. Let's go ahead and read it aloud. I'll rate it. I'll try to be honest. This story is called Soaking Roots. Why does the parking lot keep filling with water, says Daisy, owner of Jungle Ride Tours. Drains not plugged, water backed up on the back roads, damn basement of Jungle Lodge 2. It's sopping, lost the Christmas decorations, the stockings, more mud stockings. That angel Trace made in school, just like a mud puppy. Damn water. Why can't you trees soak it? Maybe put up a cement wall? keep water out, pump it over. How can we rid of the water? Her boots kick foot-deep water, held in by the parking lot's curb and its asphalt. Under the parking lot, the tree collective roots the ground and connects each other with a collective name that closely resembles soaking roots. Soaking roots slowly soaks the water, seeping and trickling, pooling around drains. The saturated roots ends slowly moisten through the trees. The roots bend around the asphalt and cement and form into trunks that are nailed with signs and walkway railings. Soaking roots, trimmed branches hang dead and drip water like tears as the rain falls and floods. Soaking roots, years-long battle to root through the asphalt, yield a crack through the asphalt and a sprout, now drowned by the pool flooding the parking lot. Daisy kicks the raised asphalt and pulls and snaps the sapling from soaking roots in the parking lot. Dig this up, probably grew through the pipe, stopping the drain. Soaking roots knows there is no pipe, no drain, no means for the water to soak and drain away, so it pools. Soaking roots knows cements and asphalts don't soak as good as soil and trees with plants to hold and drink between. That was Soaking Roots for this stochastic fiction game. We know that at least hit the elements. It has conflict. It seems like a story. Let's rate this story. 1 to 4, 4 being best, 1 being worst. Is it 1? Is it shit? Maybe. It could be. People that love you will enjoy it. Yeah, I think it's at least 2. I don't know. Maybe I'm feeling a little bit of ego today. I think I could almost edit this and submit it. It may not get accepted, but I wouldn't feel like a fool. There's not much to rewrite, though. I don't feel like it's bad enough to rewrite. I don't feel like I'd want to spend enough time. And if I was honestly going through these stories, thinking of some small flash fiction stories to submit someplace, I probably should submit this one just to see what happens. There's a low probability that it would actually get accepted, but it'd be a thing to do. I'm going to call this actually a 4. I think it's a good story. I'm still, of course, the mystery part. It's a little forgiving of myself, maybe. A little bit of an allowance. Let's go ahead and add this story, and this is how we complete it. Write the story, Soaking Roots. That is a 4. I got a bunch of metadata to save after this, a bunch of other writings to do. This, of course, is one story of many, and I'm but one person of many. So I hope there's a lot of stories written in different ways, sooner rather than later. Be creative somehow, and remember, always, try to find an anti-pattern to follow, so maybe you'll learn something new and have to create in a different way.